Okay, we're recording.
Woo!
I don't know.
The inaugural recording. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, thus far.
Oh man, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Well, we did sort of plan for this.
We did kind of. I didn't really add anything to the.
Well, you added one thing, and then I added something.
Peaches are overrated.
Well,
Most overrated.
why are you?
Well, let's just get right into it.
Oh my god, that was like all my passwords. Taxes. I shouldn't open that up. But, it helps if you use the operating system that you're going to use while you're recording more than once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does help.
Well, you are a big. You're a big Mac person now, so you should be pretty familiar with all this.
You're seeing all my
oh
treasures.
Oh my goodness!
You're seeing all my treasures. Don't look at this.
Oh.
Don't look at it. I really don't think we needed this note to see these two things. But, so, in the event that someone other than us and our close friends, significant others, ever hear this, this is a little something we have decided to call the Razzle Dazzle show hour.
Yeah.
Something.
Something.
Okay. So the premise is that I am Razzle.
Are you?
Yeah, because
I
I razz.
And I dazz. Okay.
And you dazzle.
I mean, I don't think we ever officially decided that.
For sure.
Okay.
We definitely had a long conversation about, between the two of us, you are Dazzle and I am Razzle.
I'm totally fine with that.
So to try that again, I am Razzle.
And I am Dazzle.
So we are Razzle and Dazzle.
Yeah.
And we're going to both razz and dazzle.
Yeah.
You?
I wish I had some real... Well, we'll add it in post.
Yeah, exactly. We can't... You don't want to play... This isn't fucking Vine.
Oh,
Gonna play music in the background while recording a shaky TV screen. I could do it on my phone if we really wanted. But...
I'm trying to pull up some news stuff because there's just...
Oh, man.
Just so many things.
Why don't you tell me?
Well, actually, I should probably start by kind of going into why we decided to do this. It was more so for those that don't know us, which is probably going to be most people that listen to this, know that Razzle and I kind of carpool. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was a sound.
We carpool a lot, and we have some pretty interesting conversations, I would say. And we just kind of decided this is too much comedy gold for just this car. Like, this needs some of this stuff. Maybe that's a little narcissistic of me, kind of.
Well, yeah. If you've done anything successfully in your life, it's you found somebody to be narcissistic with you.
Yes, well that's very true.
I'm happy to fill that need.
So, it was just kind of a let's throw some microphones in and we'll pull up news and we'll give our very important perspective on things and hopefully offend somebody. I don't know. That's the goal usually every day for us.
It's almost a certainty that that's going to happen. But, the thing that you said it to me the other day, the thing that, I don't know, we've been talking about this for a long time. And actually, I think I haven't logged into it or set it up at all, but we set up a YouTube channel at one point. So we have the name, but I haven't even set that. I haven't touched that in a long time. But
no.
The thing that you said to me the other day, we were talking about it, and you said this can't only live in this car. This can't only exist here. This has to make it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm very prepared for the possibility that literally no one will ever hear this. And that's okay, because it's not going to live or die in the car. There's also a possibility that something about traffic and inhaling carbon monoxide and, coffee and early morning secondhand, fumes. There's something to be said about the possibility that that's what inspires those conversations that we think are noteworthy, and that this might be terrible. So I have no idea.
Yeah, but I think that the possibilities of that are very, very slim. at least we'll have some sort of record.
Well,
You know, like, do
Yeah.
you know how many conversations we've had in the car? And I'm like, God, I wish I could
I
remember
know.
what we were talking about. And at least now we'll have some sort of
Yeah.
audio diary.
I told you, Mrs. Razzle asked. I had to warn her and say, you know, we talk about some pretty ridiculous stuff, and I just want you to be warned when you hear it that some of it's gonna be a little out there. And she was like, well, give me an example. And I had to come up with the example. It took a while for me to think of it. But
Well, let's go into it.
Yeah.
No, let's not dance around it.
Sorry.
Let's just say what we were talking about.
Yeah. So the example that I came up with was the other day we're sitting in the car and it came to me. I wondered if so bestiality's wrong, right? So
Well, I guess that depends on who you're talking
well
to.
for the purposes of this discussion, my feelings are that bestiality is wrong. So that said, how does, like, what if someone is already into bestiality and then decides to become a vegan?
Mm-hmm.
What's off limits? What's over the line? Specifically regarding, you know, fellatio. Like, if you're gonna go blow a donkey, does that violate, you know, your vegan principles? You have no other your sexual morals or inhibitions, clearly.
Right.
But does that violate your vegan your newfound vegan motives?
And my argument was that what better way to be a vegan than to pleasure your fellow barnyard animal. So, you know, it's, and I think the only time you would cross that line is if you swallow. And, you know, then that might be construed in some odd circle as breaking your veganism. But
I mean, I don't want to get into trying to decipher what vegans.
I mean,
think is okay or
I
not
thought
okay.
that's what vegans did. I thought that was part of being a vegan. I
So
mean,
that was in the plus column.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, blowing donkeys is totally acceptable.
Well,
if
I
you're
mean,
a vegan.
any animal with an external penis.
Right.
And,
Yes.
but the other side of the coin is you decided that the cunnilingus
Yeah.
of a mammal an animammal
And a mammal, yeah.
is okay.
Actually, yeah, no, it is okay.
I said that it was. I mean, not that it's okay ever, but
For a vegan.
for vegans.
For vegans.
I said that it wasn't. It still violated because, you know, there's juices and actually when I explained this to Mrs. Razzle, she said the same thing, unprompted.
Yeah.
So
I think that what you have to look at there is that the cunnilingus, the difference is that there is no, you know, genetic material.
I mean, so there's no material that you know, just in the juices. Well, we went one step further than this, and I'll get
No. Well, yeah. Well, you. What if you know the animals in heat? But I also said that's not a fertilized egg. That is just.
Yeah, but sperm isn't fertilized either.
But that's what I'm saying is that's why it's okay. No, wait.
So it's okay.
No. Let me. First.
Hold on. There's too much. Let me sum up.
Let me explain. So, the male mammal ejaculate contains the DNA.
Right.
First of all, let me also say we don't know anything.
Yeah,
we're no scientists
we're not goat ejaculate
experts.
I'm an amateur ejaculate expert at best.
Yes, at best.
But even still, that doesn't cover all animals.
All animals. Yeah. I people are gonna, if anybody listens, let's just get that straight. That none of us are in any way experts in any field we're gonna talk about. We're just two dumb guys putting our spin on things.
Yeah. If Razzle Dazzle doesn't work out, we can start another one called 2DG.
Yeah.
Just two dumb guys.
I think the unfertilized egg. But then again, isn't it the female that determines the gender? I don't know. We have all these tools in front of us. We should look it up.
That takes away.
It's not really. It's not really. Yeah, it's not really that important. But
anyhow,
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change my stance. Oh
boy.
As long as you don't ingest, then you're not breaking any vegan rules.
Okay.
We should just leave it at just don't ingest.
No swallowing.
No swallowing.
No
whatsoever.
swallowing. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So,
So if you're a vegan, go blow a donkey.
Go to town.
Or
do not swallow.
Do not swallow.
That is murder.
That's murder.
That's murder. Animal cunnilingus.
Yes.
Swallowing is murder. So don't do that.
So.
All right, I'm glad we cleared that up.
So that was the example.
Yeah, that was the example I gave, and that was just the most recent one that I could think of. So there's that.
One of the things, and it's actually funny because Mrs. Dazzle was, she brought it up to me, a week or two ago. She was like, "Hey, whatever happened to that show you were gonna do?" And I said, "Yeah, it's still, hopefully it'll happen, but I'm kind of waiting for some of the necessary equipment to fall into place."
And by that he means me, just getting off my ass.
Right, and getting the equipment, and now you do.
And now I have the equipment.
And 3 days later,
yeah,
that's all it took.
Well, that's what I said. You mentioned it to me that this can't just live in the car, and it kind of, I don't know why that clicked.
Well, I'm a pretty good speaker.
You are very persuasive.
Very, very, very persuasive.
You are very
motivational.
I am motivated.
But yeah, I mean, it occurred to me that this was something that I wanted to do, and when Mrs. Dazzle was like, when is that going to happen? All that, it did it for me. I was like, well, she obviously sees the how much that was smooth,
wasn't it?
Yeah, how much I was into doing this. Then clearly she saw something in me that I may have not even seen in myself at the time, and I gave her the same kind of talk, but probably a little less so because I think you are a bit more reserved with Ms. Razzle. than you are when you're with me. I am not when I'm with Miss Dazzle. I think she sees and hears a lot of the crazy shit I say. So she kind of knows where this is going to go.
Yeah.
Because
it's,
her and I disagree on most things.
Maybe that's why we have the conversations in the car that we do, is because I save up all the weird donkey blowing.
Right.
Discourse.
Don't we all?
Well, hopefully not. All the weird donkey.
But don't swallow. It's murder.
Swallowing's murder.
It's murder, kids.
# swallowing is murder.
Is murder.
It's murder. And I will point out that humans are mammals. So
yes. So
swallowing.
Anybody that's bombed an abortion clinic, you better hope your spirit's clean.
Wait.
God will judge you.
I don't know that those two things are even possible to go together.
What do you mean?
How can you have a clean spirit if you just bombed anything? I mean...
Yeah, tell that to extreme Muslims and...
I don't think any Muslims
any other religion.
Clinics, but...
Try to... I'm just saying, try to give that argument to any extremist in any religion. They'll tell you that's the key.
Yeah, that's maybe
not necessarily the abortion clinic.
That's the PR department. That's PR.
Fake news.
Fake news. Yeah. So I don't even know where to. There's so many questions I have regarding your assertion that we're going to talk about, but I'll let you.
Oh, that was, what? That's not even something we needed. I was eating peach yogurt.
Okay.
And I just really had this thing in my head. I was like, man, peaches are so overrated. Like everything's peach flavored. You've got peach and watermelon.
Yeah.
And both flavors don't taste anything like the source material.
That doesn't matter.
But
Taco Bell doesn't taste like the source material.
I don't really like Taco Bell.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just a purist.
Clearly. I'm sorry, can you tell everybody what you had for breakfast this morning?
I had 4 tornadoes.
For those of you who don't know what a tornado is,
it
is a vaguely doughy tortilla substance tube filled with egg product or cheese product or meat sputum. And I'm pretty sure there's just this one old guy at the tornado factory that just takes these tubes of dough and chews up whatever the food was going to be that goes in it. And just, this one's beef and cheese, and chews it and just fills the tornado tube. And then it gets frozen, and then it gets shipped to some gas station, and then it becomes the #1 selling roller grill item in the United States. And it's fucking delicious.
Yes, it is the perfect food. I imagine that's what the astronauts eat.
Oh my god! If I knew, you know how much harder I would have worked in school and life if I thought that astronauts were on the government tornado teat.
Oh my god!
Just suckling that government tornado.
So good.
I would just put the tornado to my lips and suck the gooey
zero gravity,
out.
baby. Just
oh my god!
You wouldn't even need to use your hands. Just float there.
Float me a tornado, bro.
Float it in my mouth.
Just float it to me. Just, you hit my cheek, but it's okay.
Yeah, you don't see that in a Sandra Bullock movie.
Oh, not yet. Wait till she needs the money. Wait till she buys an island and has to go Nick Cage.
Yeah, no, but the reason I'm on prednisone.
Uh-huh.
So the prednisone, among other things, definitely makes me
erect.
Very torqued.
Torqued. Got it.
But also food
erect.
Just food erect.
I have a stomach boner.
Stomach boner, yes.
Sure.
And I just and that wasn't all I ate. I also had beef jerky.
Don't worry. I wasn't trying to.
You weren't putting a limit,
a cap on how high you can fly. Don't let anyone tell you how high you can fly. Okay, you flap those tornado wings.
I flew too close to the sun this morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was, and I wasn't even full.
Wow.
Generally, just for context, I will each get 2.
I realize you said my name, but that's okay.
Sorry.
I mean, that was gonna happen. That's something we didn't really talk about.
Yeah, we don't need to keep.
I don't really mind.
I mean, people are we're gonna share this all over social media.
So people are gonna know it's me. Oh god.
Oh my god. So Razzle and I.
Yeah, Razzle.
We'll see how much we can keep it up until we just revert to.
That's fine. We'll see how soon I get sick of editing it.
Right. So we usually get maybe an energy drink. Razzle will get his coffee, cold brew black. We'll get
Dunkin' Donuts.
Couple tornadoes each. But this morning was just. I didn't even know the gas station by me had tornadoes until this morning.
I've been to that's the BP.
The BP.
I've been to that gas station with you. They did not.
They did not. They had a couple hot dogs on the rollers, but I went there this morning and they had like 4 of each flavor. So I grabbed 1 of each. I had a egg and cheese. I had a Southwest chicken. I had a sausage and something. You know what? After one,
the limits are endless.
After one, they all taste the same.
That's kind of true.
But you know what? That little story leads me into something that I saw yesterday when you were talking about the old guy in the factory spitting it into the tube.
Yeah, the tornado inflator.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's a dirty job. Someone's got to do it.
Dude, give me
Someone call
that
Mike
job.
Rowe.
No, you know what? There's something about his spit and saliva that makes it better, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think chewing it up beforehand would even taste as good.
Very true.
Oh God! Excuse you.
A little tornado.
Just all
still back there.
You just saving it for later.
The one of the newest trends. I don't know if you've seen this.
Snorting condoms? I've seen that.
No, well,
That's not exactly new.
We'll get into that. Is baby birding.
Okay, so my brain went from, what the fuck is that, to, I know what that is.
Yeah.
All the information was there. I just had to put it together.
Yeah.
And I did.
Well, I remember when we were...
Wait, like sexually or like just with friends? Hey, bro.
Yeah, just
friends.
friends.
Bird me that nacho.
Yeah. No. Well, I think it's more prominent in the college drinking scene.
Bird me a brew?
A shot.
Bird me a shot.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like shotgunning?
Yeah, but
I mean, not shotgunning in the sense where you poke a hole in the can and whatever, but I'm saying like when you shotgun smoke.
Well, I was gonna say
someone.
when we were younger, you know, I may or may not have had shotgun smoke once or twice.
Okay.
But I guess the Generation Xers have elevated shotgunning to shots.
There was a.
I'm sure it's Fireball too.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. There was a meme that's like, oh fuck, what was it? It was like, oh, okay, it's like Jesus, get your generation straight. We're millennials, not Gen Xers. When we eat Tide Pods, we eat avocados and ass. And I showed that to somebody who's a couple of years younger than me, and so I'm on the I reject this, and I don't.
You're a millennial.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
I
are.
reject that. Don't assume my generation. Don't thrust your idea of what generation you want me to be upon me,
all right.
because
Yeah.
I reject that. Anyhow, I shared that with someone who is definitely a millennial in both technical and actual, and they found it pretty funny. They're like, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It really resonates with me." I don't know if it was the avocado part or the ass part or both, but
I mean,
how can you choose?
I know that's a tough. That's
Wait,
a tough
this is
choice.
America. We don't have to
choose.
We get our avocados from Mexico and our asses from Mexico, and we just put them back together.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, believe me, you're not gonna get any arguments out of me.
Avocados from Mexico.
Did you know it's Astra?
It's
Astra.
extra. Dude, you know how many people have never seen that?
A lot.
Yeah. When about 13 years ago, when Chipotle first came to our rinky-dink little area, they had an online ordering, and they might have been one of the first places that let you order food online, but they had an online ordering
maybe
thing. Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
So you could go through the menu, and every time you moused over an ingredient, it would say it out loud in an accent. So it was like rice, cilantro lime rice, beans. Note: our pinto beans are prepared with bacon. And then when you got to guac, you click on it. Guac's a little extra. And it's like, I've just struggled to find people who've ever seen that before. But when Chipotle first came out, when I was at Geek Squad at the time, there was the bee's knees. We just needed it inside us. So we ordered it online like every day.
Well, yeah, but they were owned by McDonald's at that time.
At the time, they were, yeah. Well, okay, so I actually looked into that, and yes, but it's not like wholly owned. McDonald's was like a major investor that took them nationwide. Like, that's the reason they went nationwide.
Well, I have my own beef, no pun intended. With Chipotle. Although it has lessened in the past year or two. Watch, it's funny. We haven't been recording at all.
Yeah, that'd be great. Except I'm pretty sure I named us wrong. Hold on, this is gonna be a test.
No, yeah, you did do it wrong. You put me as Razzle.
No, fuck.
God, you're such a fucking noob at this.
No, on that, you're correct. That's okay. I'll fix it.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. I don't need to see my volume levels.
I wish I knew how to do this instead of like bars. I wish I knew how to make this tell me like time. But whatever, not a big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No.
We'll just assume.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that was kind of, I think we should talk about, because it's all over the news, is all of this Me Too stuff.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm adjusting my noise gate.
Okay. So I've been, I read these stories, and I think this is going to be a little difficult because I think you and I have similar views on
So
this.
it's actually going to be difficult to talk about because of...
Well, it's just going to be, it's not going to be like Crossfire or anything. We're both going to be like, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I wish we had...
Peaches are overrated.
Yeah. Oh, God, they're so overrated. If we decide to do this on a semi-regular basis and it gets any kind of traction, we're going to have guests and stuff.
Sure.
But this is something...
And they will be all people that we know.
Well, of course.
And agree with us.
Clearly.
And so the show will be even shorter.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you, yeah, no, yeah, you, yeah, I'm good. Okay. Next week on
Razzle Dazzle show. We'll talk to my mother. My mom's coming down.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Boofing. What?
So this came up in the Kavanaugh hearing about the term boofing, and I forgot what he said it was. He said boofing meant like farting at someone. But so he said two things. He said devil's triangle and boofing, and he said devil's triangle, I forgot what it was, but it had nothing to do with what Urban Dictionary said it was.
Which is the authority on all things.
Absolutely. And he said boofing, which is, again, he said was like farting or something. And clearly, the definition of boofing from Urban Dictionary is boofing is a simple game of thrusting your genitals into another person's face. While doing so, saying the words boof. This means you've been boofed, and you have to boof them back. And I forgot what the other one, where it is. But
that doesn't seem that bad.
No. But, when you're accused of, like, sexual assault, and you're denying it, and, you go around talking about boofing people, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, but if you want to get ahead in life, you gotta get boofed a little, right?
Well, no, he didn't get the boofing.
No, I know he was doing the boofing.
He was the boofer.
Clearly.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's how that came up.
If I was gonna up for a promotion, all I had to do was get boofed. I'm pretty sure I'd.
We've all seen Studio 54.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite things in the world.
Boofing?
Yeah. Well, besides that. Actually being boofed. I prefer to be the boofy. Yeah. But one of my favorite things in the world is like back when like regular TV existed, and you would like flip through channels and you'd see a movie that you've seen before, but now it's on like TBS, so it's cut to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the scene in Studio 54 when the guy goes in and he sits down and the owner is like, I can give you this promotion or whatever, but just let me suck your cock. And in the edited version on TV, it's like, yeah, I can give you a promotion, but I just want to rub your neck. It's just someone making a terrible Mike Myers New York accent. Just let me rub your neck. And then I saw another one with Scarface. That's like, the scene where he's asking him about his scar, and he's like, "How'd you get that scar? Eating pineapple?" And Al Pacino's like, "How'd you gonna get a scar like that eating pineapple?" And it's just so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, boofing, triangling,
boofing. That's actually.
Hey yo, you want a boof? I'm having a fucking boof party.
Man, the things people do is like. So here's the thing about my opinion.
Yes.
On the Me Too.
Indeed.
There is a lot of sexual misconduct in this world, especially in the workplace.
There's gonna be some on this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
My foot can reach you,
and I might have to start boofing you on a regular basis.
Thank God.
But what a lot of people fail to realize, and this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I feel like it should be said. Like, people should realize this. For the last, and I'm talking strictly America. You know, it's the only viewpoint I have, and to be honest with you, a lot worse happens outside the borders of this country. So just speaking in terms of this country. So, and again, I didn't live 100 years ago. This is just stupid, dumb.
There is so much preamble.
I want to make sure people
like every word
understand.
You say
I'm no expert.
Preparing me for just the horrible shit you're about to say.
This is how it's been. Like, this is how this country was found. I mean, think, women couldn't even vote 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've come a long way, obviously. But the country itself is only a few hundred years old. So when you, and I mean in a modern democracy setting, and it was, women were second-class citizens, African Americans were, anybody that wasn't white or a man,
right,
was a second-class citizen. And the history of this country is we're infant. We're an infant compared to the rest of the world. So you have cultures, outside these borders that are thousands and thousands of years old. And embedded in their culture is, they don't treat women any better. Most of them. I mean, a lot of Middle Eastern countries that the women are finally getting the chance to drive,
or go to school.
Or hold any sort of job or anything.
Right.
And I'm not going to even say that that's right or wrong.
Wait. You're not going which part? The fact
any of it.
Okay.
Because that's a cultural. It isn't up to me to, like, there are certain human rights that we have. Like, do I think women should have their clitorises forcefully removed, for looking at another man? No, I don't. That's crazy. But if your culture is thousands of years old, it's going to take you a lot longer to evolve and give women and other, people rights that they didn't normally have, right?
Okay.
So we have the benefit, if you ask me, that we are still kind of we're infants. We don't have thousands of years of culture behind us to dictate or deeply embed in us these ideas of second-class citizens and what women can and can't do. However, what we do have is what is that noise?
Jesus Christ.
Is that your cat?
Yeah, my cat's opening the sliding door. Fuck.
God, it's a smart cat.
It's strong, too.
Strong. We do have the one thing that we have, I think, over other cultures is our entertainment industry. So I think most, and I'm not saying other countries don't, but I think it is heavily influenced by America.
I think for a long time, the U.S. was sort of the entertainment industry for the world.
Yeah.
At least in some sense. Obviously, everybody has their own, how Bollywood and
sure.
and England. Yeah, I didn't even get into
China
it. China
has Jackie Chan,
right?
And Bruce Lee.
But yeah, there's obviously there are, entertainment industries other places, but it's sort of like the big billion-dollar worldwide blockbusters all come from.
They all strive to come here.
Right.
Nobody strives, and they make fine money over there, but everybody's like, I want to be an American actor. I want to be in American movies.
Sure.
And things like that. So, because of that, a lot of unethical things happened. And that's just the way it was. And that's not an excuse, but you can't not take that into consideration, right? You want a part in my movie? There's the couch.
Yeah.
Get on the couch.
That's the power, the power dynamic,
right?
Of like, and part of it is people like just doing it forever and thinking that it's okay,
Right.
and then
So you've got now. Do I think Harvey Weinstein is a piece of shit? Yeah, of course. I could just look at him and tell you that's a slimy piece of shit.
There are certain people that you just like, oh god, that guy's a piece of shit.
I mean, Bill Cosby. Am I sad after? And I'm not even a big fan of his of Cosby's comedy, but I understand the influence he had on comedy.
Well, I think he had a lot more influence on not just comedy, but I think he was a big influence on just a lot of people in general.
Well, yeah, especially African American.
Right.
You who did you really have? You had Cosby. Oh God.
Well, if you're okay, so there's a bunch of different ways to look at it, but outside of Cosby was one of the comedians that was also an advocate for like just being better people. Well, at least publicly, he was an advocate for that, like going to school and being good people and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, he had that everybody's father personality.
Right.
I think that's what drove obviously the Cosby Show to the success that it had.
Yeah, and people like they were drawn to, there wasn't anything else like it on at the time.
Right.
It's this upper middle class African American family. Well,
and his wife worked.
Right, exactly.
I don't remember what she did though,
I don't remember
but she worked. Educated children.
Right. And there weren't a lot of examples like that. So like for us, I didn't really watch the show. For us, it wasn't as big of a deal that way, but
right.
I did watch, one of his older comedy specials and stuff like that I thought was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And I never really watched Fat Albert either. So anyway, to reiterate your point, I think it's a lot of people looked up to him in a lot of different ways, not all of which I or you can empathize with.
Correct.
But yeah.
But the important thing is that yes, I think what he did was shitty. But, and here's the but, the problem I have with the Me Too movement is that now we're reaching a spot where it can be used as a weapon. So what we're seeing is, 35 women come out and say, Bill Cosby, whatever. I mean, did he, didn't he? I don't know. I wasn't there.
He's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
Yeah.
He was convicted.
Yep.
So legally, there's no question he's guilty.
Yeah.
But then you see people like Louis C.K., right?
I don't think it's even fair to compare.
It's not a fair comparison.
Yeah.
And now any woman that has a problem in life where a male could be involved and could not be exhibiting any sort of sexual misconduct. It's like, me too.
Yeah, well, okay. There's two ways to look at it. One, I think I understand how difficult and how how reluctant some people are to come forward when stuff like this happens.
Sure.
I get it.
Yep.
And I'm super supportive of anything that makes someone feel comfortable coming forwards in a situation where they weren't before. I am absolutely not okay with, and I would posit that most people who have been, victims of abuse and things like that would also not be okay with anybody misusing that platform to say, oh yeah, me too.
Right.
Even though nothing actually
Sure.
happened. I'm also, I'm okay with just about anything that gets, encourages people to come forward. What I'm not okay with is people that like go and look for victims to push forwards, to sort of publicize, almost like victim publicists.
Yeah.
To say, oh wait, you were abused by this famous person. Getting you to come out and tell your story helps my agenda. So I'm going to push you towards doing that. Now, I'm good with, and I agree with the person coming forwards. I don't agree with the people who are, trying to wrangle people to come forwards to further their own agenda.
Right.
Yeah, and then in my opinion, they're misusing the platform the same way, or in a similar way that anyone would be to they delegitimize it,
Right.
And it was already difficult. It was difficult enough for people to come forward to begin with. And now they're, you have these sort of vultures and vampires that try to delegitimize the platform just for their own ends. And I'm also not okay with, it's if something happens to somebody and they don't, first of all, they should come forward, period.
Yes.
Whatever it is. If something happens to you, you're not comfortable with it, it's not okay, not consensual, you absolutely should come forward, 100%.
Yeah.
But if you don't come forward and later on you decide, somebody does something else to you that pisses you off or whatever, and you decide then to come forward, yes, it's good you came forward, but using it as a means of retaliation for a different occasion or a different act, I don't, it's a tough one to try and nail down.
And that's the problem that I have with the oversaturation. And again, I completely agree. Being comfortable to come forward is important. And I think we're getting to a spot where women don't feel like they need to not come forward.
Yeah. Well, and we've been talking mostly about women so far, and obviously neither one of us are women, but
men too.
When Terry Crews came out and he was like, yeah, this male producer or director or somebody sexually assaulted him at a party, it happens to men too.
Kevin Spacey. I mean,
exactly.
And I will say the only reason that I predominantly focus on women is because it's just different. And anybody that says it's not different, it is lying to themselves. It's different. I think from an emotional aspect, I think from a a position of power aspect. I'm not saying that
not that women can't be in positions of power and abuse it, but
right.
I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying that I don't think men have ever had a stigma of not coming forward. I think most men would just be like, they would just get over it and just be like, yeah, that's a thing that happened, and then. Yeah, not to say that that's right.
No, I don't know that. I think you might be onto something that I don't know that. I guess I don't know that men, if women are abused, and again, I'm not a woman. I didn't grow up as a young girl, but
don't assume my gender.
I'm not. But I don't know that the level of encouragement for me when I was growing up to this is not okay if somebody does this to you. Somebody, if somebody does something you're not comfortable with, you need to come forwards. I don't know that if that was ever really hammered home for me when I was younger. Probably, the same way that it's done for women and for girls and whatever.
We get a totally different talk.
Yeah.
We're taught, to not get bullied, right? I would say, in my experience, and I'm sure a lot of males would kind of agree with, my talks when I was a child were clearly targeted differently than they were for my sisters. I think we were all kind of taught not to be bullied, but for me it was more of a, boy thing. You're a boy, whatever. But yeah, we never got that. Now if, the boss tells you she or he wants you to touch his butt, or
from the inside,
yeah,
using your mouth parts,
yes, then that's wrong and whatever. I mean,
yeah.
we never needed. Now not a lot of people know this, a few people, I was somewhat a victim of sexual misconduct in the workplace from one of my superiors.
It wasn't me.
No, it was not you.
Well, okay, I made plenty of sexual advances.
Sure,
but they were all.
But those were welcomed
with open arms.
Yeah. This was what was I? 20-ish. I don't even think I was 21 yet. I was working at
the
jewelry store.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is this when we worked together?
No. This was when I worked at a jewelry store that will remain nameless. But, I had weird things and weird vibes and things that were said and
put into you.
I had become friends with someone who was in a position of authority, and that kind of got twisted. And I was very uncomfortable, but I quit. And then I told my district manager. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Sure.
Like, but again, I understand that I'm a white American male, so I can come forward and not feel like I need to hold that back. That's kind of my
there's not
part
really
of my point.
There's not really a stigma against us
coming out.
There's really not a lot of enforcement when you're little to come out for men, at least in my experience. And if you do, there's not a lot of stigma against you if you do. Like, nobody's like, oh my God, is he making it out?
Oh, well, he'll never work here. He'll never work in this industry again.
Sweetie, you're never going to get another job. Oh my God.
Right.
So yeah, that's the other horseshit side of it. Like, not, if women, not only if they come forward, are they probably fired from the job they have, but at the next fondle fair,
right,
where all the fondlers get together, it's like, who doesn't like being fondled is this person,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, I don't want to speak for anyone,
no.
But
well, she came out as one of the people that Harvey Weinstein tried to but that's one of the things is that.
Yeah, but she came out. That's the point. Is
she couldn't come out then,
right? She came out from a position of like, I've got 100 movies under my belt.
Exactly.
Don't need this shit anymore, and people are going to hire Gwyneth Paltrow
no matter what.
And that's it's shitty that she had to wait, or felt she had to wait.
Right. I think that's also why. One of the things people say is, well, why did she wait so long to come out? It's like you don't know. Like you don't know what was going on in that person's life,
right?
After Bill Cosby shoved Quaaludes up her ass, and then maybe it took her a while to kind of get over it. And
how do you think he got prepared to be the jail tornado filler, chewing up Quaaludes and blowing them up,
baby burden,
right up the rectum.
But then. What I also feel very, very passionate about when it comes, and this is kind of what I was going towards, is Louis C.K. I
knew this was gonna come up.
I am so upset because
I have feelings.
I am one of the biggest Louis C.K. fans.
He just started doing comedy again,
and that's what I wanted to talk about. So, what is the statute here?
Well, so the thing is like, you're right. What is the statute between? And somebody was talking about this on Twitter. What is the statute like? When can they're just done forever now? Like, they can never be
right.
Never be a in their profession ever again. And I don't know.
Well, first let's
answer for that, but
let's come out and say that clearly. Of all of the things that we have heard from all of these people being accused, Louis C.K. is really low on that list.
Yeah. In not in the effect that whatever these people did had on the victims.
I'm not speaking towards their emotions.
Exactly. We can't gauge that. But
right.
When between drugging someone and raping them over the course of 30 years,
correct,
like Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein, doing the same thing, it's like well, not the same thing, but you know what I mean, the same time length,
right?
Dave Chappelle in one of his newer specials said the same thing. He's like, one of the accusations was, he started jerking off while he was on the phone with someone.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I've done that.
Well, yeah, but we're not famous.
That's true.
And it's only to each other.
That's also true.
So, it's Dave Chappelle said, he's like, I'm sorry, you're trying to make it in Hollywood and you can't hang up the phone.
Right.
And that was one of the other accusations were in person, but yes, there may have been an implied abuse of power. Yes, it may have been. They may have the victims may have inferred that if they didn't say yes, which they said yes, he asked.
He asked.
He said, "Can I jerk off with you in the room?" And they said yes. Now, the reasons that they said yes, there may have been, like I said, an implied
power dynamic,
right? An implied consequence, like I'm asking, but I'm not really asking,
right? Yeah,
maybe, sure. But at the same time, like I said, Dave Chappelle said it. It's a brittle spirit. Like you say no, like. Say no, turn around, walk out of the room. Like, there's a lot of different ways that situation could have been handled better from both sides.
Yes.
But yes, on the spectrum of things, that is very low.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like most crimes, if we look at it from a legal standpoint, you don't really take into play emotions, right? Like you can't.
You shouldn't. No, from a legal standpoint, you shouldn't.
You can't quantify how each individual. Like if Louis C.K. came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you mind if I jerk off in front of you?" I'd be like, "Dude, I don't go for it. Like I don't care."
I think that speaks a little more to our attitude towards people jerking off.
Correct. Right. Yeah. But I also
and it's Louis C.K.
I also know that
how many times are you gonna get to tell that story?
Exactly. Just put me on your show. You can jerk off on my face. You need a thumb? Whatever.
Right. What do you need?
But and I'm not making light. But I think that you can't quantify how someone's going to react. But from a standpoint of just the act itself, without any filler, jerking off in front of somebody, jerking off over the phone, pretty low.
Yeah,
on the list.
I agree.
Now, I understand that he had to walk away from comedy, right? He had his shows pulled. FX pulled their stuff, his whatever stand-up specials he had in the works, because he was a once a year, once every other year.
Well, he had a movie that was done.
He did.
And ready to be released.
I heard it sucked.
The next,
I heard it sucked. But
I never got to see it.
But still.
He had a movie that was about to come out the next day.
Yeah.
And then all this shit dropped and he...
His life is probably, at least forever there will be a footnote in the story of Louis C.K.
Yeah.
But he decides to get up and go down to the Comedy Cellar and without warning get up on stage and do a set. What the fuck is the problem? Why is everybody crying?
Well, yeah, it's, you don't, in that scenario, okay, let's say that Louis C.K. is a deplorable person.
Sure.
He's an awful person. He should never work again.
Let's say it's Bill Cosby.
Sure. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Perfect. Bill Cosby gets up.
I'm going to go to the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah, you're in the Comedy Cellar. You got a couple drinks, whatever. Bill Cosby gets up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Leave.
Right. Bye.
Get up and leave. Pay your tab. And
no, I wouldn't even pay my tab.
Well,
I'd just get up and leave.
Yeah. it's whatever.
Right.
There's a moral quandary there, too. But
sure.
Anyway, you have control over what is, what you're sitting through in that scenario.
Exactly.
So get up and leave.
Yeah.
Just leave. Same thing with, when people say, well, I don't like, violence on TV. Change the fucking channel. I don't like that. I don't like that rock music. And change the fucking dial.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. Do I think that he should be like that? The establishment should ban him from ever working there? No, it's between them. If they want to, they certainly have the right to. The owners of the Comedy Cellar can ban him if they want to, but that's their decision. And if you don't like the fact that he went there, you don't ever have to go back there again. You can say, I'm never going to give this place my money again because they allowed this person who I feel this way about to be up on stage. Cool. Like, do your thing. But no, I don't, I think that's between Louis C.K. and the establishment, and between the establishment and their patrons.
Right. I read so many articles of these people. And you know what? I couldn't even get through some of them. It was just, deplorable. How could he get up and do these jokes? And it's like,
well, that's another conversation, like divorcing the art from the artist, right? Like, I hate Kanye West as a person. Like, he's just annoying as fuck.
He's weird.
Yeah, and weird. He's annoying as fuck and weird. But, well, at least everything before Yeezus, which, for those who don't know, Dazzle's not a huge rap fan.
No.
But everything before, one of his most recent albums, he was just amazing. Like, his albums, his music was fucking incredible. He was an incredible producer, a good, lyricist, and his music was fantastic. And that was one of the things that's like, when Dark Fantasy came out, which was, in my opinion, his best album, and also, in my opinion, one of the best complete albums ever. I had that conversation with myself, like, okay, well, I absolutely don't like this guy, but I love this album. So, and we don't have to talk about Kanye West,
no,
but
I
just
think
led me down that path of divorcing the art from the artist. Like, this person may be, a terrible piece of shit, but do you have to take that? Do you have to feel that same way about their work, regardless of what it is?
It's always been a tough issue. I think it so depends on the person. Like, I agree with you. I think Kanye West musically is very gifted, and as a person, he's crazy. I think Pete Rose is a fantastic baseball player, one of the best all time. But he gambled on baseball. It's like those type of things. I could say Kanye West deserves to be in the Music Hall of Fame or whatever one day. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. But like, when you look at Bill Cosby, I can't separate.
No. I guess there is a point where it's like,
you just can't.
Oh my God, what a dust.
You can never see the Cosby
Theo,
Show.
You gotta do your homework. But okay, we're gonna cut for the day. Come back to my trailer, and don't forget the pills. I don't know if that's probably an awful Bill Cosby.
That's pretty.
You see,
it's pretty bad, but
when you take the Quaalude,
but I know
put it in the pudding,
the Jello pudding.
It's delicious. Try it.
I will say that.
I wonder why the one girl from that show turned to porn. Because she did.
No, she didn't.
I forgot that the one daughter became not a porn star, but like she was in a porn or two.
No.
What do you mean no?
She wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of a different show.
I am not. I don't think I am.
You're thinking of the
Family Matters.
Family Matters.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because I know exactly who you're talking about.
I don't doubt it. But I'm
because
definitely
the Raven Simone.
No, it's not Raven Simone.
I'm just going through the cast, and then you have the older sister, who didn't do anything. And then you have the older sister who did the.
I found an article: child stars that went on to the porn industry.
Yeah, and that girl's from Family Matters.
All right, let's start. Let's click the button to start the article.
Miss Teen USA, don't care. Heidi Montag, we all knew that.
Don't care.
She looks like a fucking
Simon.
fake.
Oh, this dude did porn?
Simon Rex?
The guy from... Oh, no, that's not who I thought it was. Never mind. This guy was in... he was in Scary Movie something. But never mind. I confused him with the guy... With Jamie Kennedy. Who, the guy from
The Mask 2?
Malibu's Most Wanted is what I was going with.
Oh, Jamie Kennedy did porn? I've never seen somebody so excited.
I can't fucking
that
wait.
You were more excited than Jamie Kennedy would have been doing porn.
Well, and I think everyone was more excited than his co-star.
Oh God,
Scott Schwartz.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is. A Christmas Story. He did. Oh yeah, that's right. He did do porn. The flick who got his tongue stuck to a pole. Yeah. Went and did well. He's been tonguing a lot of poles, I guess.
There you go. That's Jamie Foxworth. Family Matters.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Hold on. I thought that said Jack Bauer for a second. Never mind. It's not Jack Bauer. I don't know who that is.
Holly Simpson.
Holly Sampson.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Oh, Wonder Years.
Oh, okay. Who's this?
Janelle.
Bill Cosby. I fucking told you.
That's a spinoff. That's not the Cosby Show.
Counts.
It had a spinoff. It doesn't fucking count.
All right. So there was a spinoff of the Cosby Show called A Different World, in which one of the actresses went on to diddle.
Yeah, I get that.
The original Red Ranger, Austin St. John, which is a perfect porn name just to begin with.
Yeah. Anything with a saint in it.
Donkey St. Dong.
Maya Campbell.
In Need of Help.
Don't know who that is.
Comedy shows South Central. Okay. Quigley.
Quigley? Linnea Quigley. All right.
Scream Queen.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was either.
Stephen Jeffries.
I don't know who that is.
He looks familiar.
He does look familiar.
Fright Night.
Charlie's Creepy and Evil Ed. Okay. Okay. I don't know.
Who's that?
Someone from Miss USA? Kelly McCarthy? And Farrah Abraham, we all know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, well, she looks awful.
Yeah, she looks
not good.
Ungreat.
But I really like that Kiss bikini.
I would wear it.
That's pretty clever.
I would wear a Kiss bikini.
Yeah, big change 2 years will make. Damn, she looks terrible.
She does look terrible.
Okay, so not to get off topic, but so yeah, Louis C.K. I'm happy that he's doing comedy. I think that on the other side of the coin, he could probably do with some sort of apology. I mean, he did
make an apology. Or do you mean somebody should apologize to him?
No.
That'd be weird.
No. I think he made a very press-friendly, generic apology.
Well, his apology too was there wasn't much to it. It's like, right. Yeah, no, this all happened. I'm sorry. I'm different now, and
I don't know about that.
Goodbye.
I think he could do with coming out and maybe saying, I'm a comedian. I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my profession.
I think what's gonna end up happening is like the same thing that happened to Michael. What's his last name?
Phelps.
No, not
J.
Michael.
Fox.
Not Michael J. Fox either.
Kramer. He did porn.
Michael Richards.
Yes.
I think it's gonna happen. After he had his racial explosion tirade.
Yes.
What happened was after that, maybe a week or two after that, Seinfeld went on like Jimmy Kimmel or one of those shows. Yeah. Or Jay Leno or something. Seinfeld went on and like, Seinfeld is America's Jewish sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves him. So he like was like, hey, he's a friend of mine, blah, blah, blah. And we wanted to have him apologize. And then it was like a live clip of Michael Richards apologizing. So because it was like he was a little toxic, so none of the show hosts like wanted him as a guest.
Right.
But it was okay to have Seinfeld. Like it was a perfect storm. You had Seinfeld like introduce him, and then he apologized. So I would say maybe something like that, where they end up booking him on a show, like a late night show or something, and he's like, he uses that as his forum for an apology. Maybe I don't know.
I think he would be better suited going on like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Sure, it could be something like that.
Something where you have 2 hours
Yeah.
to spend some
I don't know
quality time.
Yeah, I get it, but there's not, like you said though, it's a side effect of it being what we would call low on the totem pole.
Sure.
A side effect of that is there's not a lot
No.
to it.
No,
It doesn't seem like there's a lot to it. Unless he goes into this long fucking diatribe about how his dad or his weird uncle used to jerk off in front of him, and priests used to jerk off in front of him.
Boof him.
Just boof tastic. It's your 6th boof day.
Yeah.
We're gonna come on and blow out your boof day candle. Come on. It's right here. Blow your boof day candle. The wax is dripping. The wax is dripping. Better hurry up. Oh, you gotta lick the frosting off the base.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
Yeah, my boof day candle.
I'm using boof.
Just all the time. So, he could go into, if there was some, long-winded reason, like, or psychological thing or something, sure. He can go into that, but I don't know that there's all that to it. It's like, I used to like to jerk off in front of people. Yeah. And,
well, I think
I stopped doing that.
He can expand on, and I just think he would benefit from a lot of these. I don't want to use the term snowflake because I don't like that term, but the people who are just really up in arms
these unique ice precipitation crystals.
Yes, I think he can. It would bode well for him to maybe go on a podcast, spend 10 minutes, saying
sure.
this is it, this is my job. If you don't ever want to see me,
like
I understand.
Totally agree.
But if you still, want to see me as I, make these changes in my life and continue to do comedy, then please come out to the Comedy Cellar next Friday, 8 p.m.
I would stop just short, just shy of plugging.
And after that, you spend that little bit of time, and then you go into a really interesting, funny podcast that people will listen to and enjoy and be like, oh, God, I remember how funny Louis C.K. is.
Yeah.
And then
I agree.
Oh, this is actually... I mean, I could have told you that.
Okay. Go ahead.
What? Well, I'm going to let you do the math here.
Got it.
Since you've got to get the...
Oh, my God.
Let's see, here's the thing. Razzle has the thing recording, and it's recording it in bars.
At tempo of 120. So...
In 4/4. So we don't actually know how long we've been recording. I think we should like pause here, take a little commercial break. Yeah. I have to use the gentleman's room, and then we can.
You've been razzled.
Yeah, we'll put in some like 50s jazz for like 10 seconds. All right, we'll be back with Razzle and Dazzle.
Wait, if I hit record again, does it pause it? Okay, so it turns out that we are way more ambitious than we thought we were, and this ended up being 2 parts.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the end of part 1. Part 2 will be up at some point.
Yeah.
We haven't decided the interval yet, but
a couple days, I'd say.
Couple days.
We don't want to overload
too much.
The sensory overload. We don't want that.
So this is the end of part 1.
All right, thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
Razzle Dazzle Show.
Oh, thank you.
Peace out.